Good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to be trying out this new kit from Diamond Press. These items were sent free of charge for my review, and all opinions are my own. And links down in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So I already have some videos, pre-recorded, ready to go for the craft day, so you can see some of the items in action. I happen to know that this one right now is already available on HSN site, so you can check it out. This is the Slimline shaker kit. It's called BU, and I do have links in the description box for it. Yes, if you want to check it out, I'll have the link there. So like I said, this one's available. I know the cupcake kits, so they have toppers, are available, and a new stamp set there. So, sometimes they trickle things out slowly. Are they going to have a $5 craft cart? I don't know. I'm assuming they will, but, that's up to you. So if you want to hold off a little bit, however you want to do it. But this item is already there on the site, so let's open this up. Look at that. I was really excited about this one, so I'm happy to see it here. I did notice that there are a lot of foam pads, and I think the reason why is because if you're going to use this guy, you're going to need quite a bit of foam, to go behind each little aperture, so they give you plenty of that, so that's really nice. So let's look at this. So we have the main die for our Slimline. It's going to cut these little apertures, and of course you can use this for any card. I mean, this is going to be adorable for lots of different occasions. These pieces right here are what cut your foam, but they can also cut you a little frame, I suppose, if you want to cut that out of paper and then layer that on top of this piece. This piece does have its little stitching, and it's already super sweet as it is. And then we have the little flower cutout or die that I'll show you in just a minute with the stamps. And again, so these other pieces that cut the different shapes, or the acetate that you would need for behind the shapes. We have the little confetti, which is little flowers. How cute is that? And then the little centers cut out, so you'll have confetti that are flowers and little dots, so it's really cute. I love these little banners. These are very trendy, and this is the kind of thing I basically try to cut by hand quite often, so it's really nice to have these. And then the dies, the cutouts for the different flowers that are in the set. So let's look at that, and then we'll talk about the other basic things that are in here. Oh, so cool. So we have, hopefully you can kind of see this, a really big stamp that will help you do like a honeycomb pattern, and it looks like they're made so that you can layer them into each other, and we will do that. So I'll probably use a stamping tool, but we'll do that. I guess we can look at this way. And we have the little flower that's sideways, and then it says because. So we have be happy. Yep. And then the little, oh, that's what it is. I was wondering what that little hive, how cute. And then the little bees, one's sideways, one's kind of forward looking, or straight up on top, a little flower, and then a flower facing the other way from the first one I showed you there. We have you are as honey, just sweet, beautiful, hello, you're the happy bazillion, bee's knees, bee day, aw, you're one in a, and then believe in yourself, don't worry. So those are the stamps. And then, of course, we have our instructions here. Of course, we have our acetate sheets with several shims. The metal shims are reusable. When you use it, they might bend out of shape, but you can keep reusing them just like the folders or anything else. And then your Slimline folder. And tons of the foam that's already cut into like a smaller square shape. So we can get our stuff going here. So let's look at the instructions real quick, and then I'll just grab some paper. But they're recommending you get a 7 by 8.5 piece of paper, and then of course you're going to score it down the center, so you have a 3.5 by 8.5 piece of paper. And it says if you would like to then cut an 8 by 3 inch rectangle in here to the front of the base of the card, and then you can go from there, decorating, doing what you like. So let me grab some papers. Oh, so cute. Okay, interesting. Yes. I was kind of looking at this and I was thinking, well, how am I going to do this? I'll probably just put the pieces, the little confetti down, and then this is a smart idea right here. Okay, well, anyway, so I will, like I said, grab some paper. Let me see what's on this other one. It was just showing you some of the different ways you can use the pieces here. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so for my step one, I have a few different things here. Which is basically cut your card base, again, 7 by 8.5, so your paper's already 8.5 if you're using standard A2 size paper. And we're just going to score it at 3.5 on the 7-inch side. And I like kind of smaller mats, so I'm cutting an extra piece of paper. You don't have to do that. What the instructions say is just to go ahead and cut like a background paper that's going to go behind your little aperture topper. That's going to be 8 by 3, so I do have that. But I'm also going to do one in black. So this is just some white paper. I'm going to do a black one, 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. And since my guillotine is doing weird stuff like this, it's giving me some rough edges, I'm going to take a distressing tool and just distress that. So I'm going to take a moment to go around. If you don't have a distressing tool and you'd like something like this, you would just take some scissors and just kind of open them up like this. And you can run it in the very middle of the scissor or just use a scissor edge to help you. And sometimes the scissor actually works better. Just rough up the edge, okay? I'll be right back. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these, but I'm not going to adhere the white piece yet. So I'm going to glue these together. And hopefully this glue's ready to go. Sometimes it's been giving me, there we go. So again, that's just because I like the layers to look like that, but you don't have to put a middle section. So I have this piece. I'm not going to adhere this piece yet because I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm going to keep this piece that you're supposed to have cut in 8 by 3 to the side. So now I have my card base. I have that piece that's going to go under my apertures. And then we have a piece of paper that we're going to stamp on. Or you don't have to stamp on it, but if that's what you like to do, that's what I'm going to do. And it's a little bit different orange than the base card. And I am going to use a tool like I had mentioned. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this. And this piece I just cut down like 8, the whole 8 1/2. I cut it like 3 1/2 or so. I don't know. I know the panel is going to cut about 8 by 3. So I just give it some room, but whatever scrap of paper you have that's about that size would be great. And I'm going to stamp this. Oh, you know what? Let's say I should do it this way because I can run it off the side. Anyway, I'm not going to give it that much thought. So let's put that on there. I'm going to have to move the stamp when I flip my paper, so I was just wondering if I should do it off the side because that way I can just do something different, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm taking some quick dry ink in another orange tone, and I'm just getting that on there. And I don't mind if it's messy because I feel like it's going to be in the background and it's, nature related. So I'm just going to stamp it. Oh, cute. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it around and let me see. Will this? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because of the way it's made, I have to turn the image, or at least move it over. No, I'm going to go ahead and turn it. Okay. I don't mind placing this right on here because it's going to stamp anyway, so I say just about there. That looks good. See what I'm saying? I have a little ghosting, but that's okay because we're going to stamp over it anyway. I was going to give the tip of sometimes when you're stamping, if you want it to look softer, like right now I'm going to put that, and if you want it to look softer, you can take like a little pad or something and then just go over it and just soften it up, which gives it a different... Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that's... I'm missing a section right here, sorry. Alright, and then we're just going to cut this piece with... Aw, sweet. And you see I missed that bottom part. Well, I guess I could just restamp it. We are using a stamping tool, that's what it's for. I think it's because the stamp is up here, the way I positioned it, so it's not quite where it needs to be, but that's okay. Alright, so now I'm going to take this guy, and... we'll cut that down. Sorry about that. And I'm going to cut it as high as I can just to not have too much of this part in here, but either way. Alright, I'm trying to see where we're at, left and right, up and down. Probably pretty good right there. And it's a pretty big stamp, so if you don't have a stamp positioner, I wouldn't be afraid, because you could see what you're doing, especially if you just have a clear block or any other kind of stamp positioner like the diamond press one, where as you're looking, you can kind of move it to where you need it to be. It's not the biggest deal. That one's pretty easy to work with. And it does come with a cutting folder, but I do have, of course, one that I've been using, and I will continue to use that. So, as you can see, I've cut several times into it. And this is no different. I'll pop this in here. And again, I always say, try to angle it as much as you can, just so that when this comes to your rollers, it doesn't just hit it and then possibly skip over that area. You want it to cut into it so it hits a little area, and then as it goes, it hits more and more of the die. And that's pretty much the card base. Everything else now is just making the shaker and embellishing. So. Aw, and you can use these little pieces for something else, or even pop them in behind if you would like. Look at that. Looks lovely. I think that, yeah, so that's it. I will clean up. I need to clean my stamp, and I'll be right back. So I just took my stamp, and you know, I kind of went ahead and looked through my stamp real easily. I held up my precision press kind of in the air, and those two little bits that I missed it, all I did was like get under the precision press with just the flap open, the clear top, and I pushed it in there so I got the stamping finished. Like I said, I just put my stamp up on top and kind of didn't want to press down into the paper. So that's done. Okay, so I'll put that to the side. And then the next thing, which is die cut your acetate, step 3. I know in the last video I had done a shaker, and I didn't take the time to die cut the shapes. I just kind of placed the acetate behind it. If you want to do a whole strip of acetate that you might already have, you can do that. You know, it kind of isn't enough to go from one to the other in certain spots. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut them. And basically the steps are telling you that you need 1 large one, 2 medium, and 2 small. And yeah, so let me show you what those look like. 1 large, 2 medium, 2 small, right? So let's take a large guy. Let's take one of these, maybe a couple. You can probably do 2 or 3 at a time. What I want to show you is that with the larger cutting folders. And I do want to show you that these are the plain ones. These are not the ones that have like a little frame, okay? The little frame ones are for the foam. So that's different. And then one, 2, okay. And so what you do is, of course, the die is facing down on your acetate and then into the metal shim. Same thing for both of these. And what I'll do is, so you can probably cut 3 of these at a time if you wanted to. You do have 2 metal shims in the kit, but I know I have metal shims from other kits. And then just run it through. You hear that little cutting into the acetate. I one shifted as I was going through. I wanted to adjust that. Okay. So I'll take the time to cut the other 2, and again another medium and then 2 small ones, and I will be right back. Okay, I do want to show you I was able to get 2 of the small ones on, of course I missed, here he is. Like, where is it? It's under my thumb. I was able to get 2 small ones on one piece of film. Hopefully you can kind of see. It's just one here in the corner and one in the top corner. And that worked out real well. And as you can see, this thing, you know, gets beat up, but you can keep using it, keep using it, keep using it. So that's just how that works. All right, now these guys, we're going to go ahead and glue them down. Excuse me. So, let's say this is a small guy. I'm going to put the glue on the hair. Bring our small piece in. Got a little tape on there. Let me do that. And I like that they cut it generously, so it's not like you have to really be super careful about where, you know, you're placing it right there. And I'll do the same thing for all of them, the medium size, the large one, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the side to dry while we're waiting to die cut our foam. And we need 1 large one, 2 medium, and 2 small. So of course from here, if you want to, you know, put it over to the side, save some foam for something else, of course you can definitely do that. Let me cut this one and then I'm going to see something real quick. You can also put it right in the center and then you would have a huge aperture that you can use of foam for like another card, which would be really sweet too. Let's see here. Pop that in there. Okay, so you're gonna have all these pieces. Really all you want is this outer frame. Okay, I'm gonna be very careful when I take it off because I want the carrier to stay on it. As you can see, the bottom carrier and the top are on there. And you have this little piece that, again, you can use, you know, with the pieces that we cut out earlier, like if it works out and you want to pop it up, whichever size, I guess the larger size, you can put it on there and you have a dimensional piece. What I was wanting to see is if we can, if I could still use that piece and still cut this from it. And it looks like I can. All right, this is a little risky. I'm going to try it. Just because it's right on there, so we'll see. If not, I'll just, you know, cut another one. But, you know, if we can get a couple cut out from that same piece, I don't see why not. All right, there's that center piece. Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay, let me take this outer side away. And this is a piece that you can use on something else later, I suppose, just to use this stickiness. But we're looking for this middle piece right here. This is the piece we want. Look at that. So I was able to get a couple from the one. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and continue cutting. I need two small total, 2 medium total, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have all our pieces here. So let's bring these guys back. And basically what we're gonna do is just match up the guys. So we're not taking the top carriers off again, just the back ones so we can line them up on here. So this is a medium size one. And again, they give you a little space so you don't have to be so super careful that, oh no, you know, the white's gonna show. Like they give you a good amount of space around here, around the center. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. In this middle part. I'm not trying to really be like, oh, let me place this. Do not take the top carrier off quite yet. If it comes off, you know, it happens. It's not a big deal. You just have to be more careful, but just try to keep it in place until you're done with placing your confetti. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around and place these little guys. And also you don't have to push down until you're happy. So if you think, you know, you didn't quite get it, don't push it down quite yet. Just pick it right back up. All right, I'll be right back. I have all those pieces on there. And then this is going to layer on top of, you know, whatever base. I did want to mention, let's say you wanted to stamp some words back there. What you can totally do is have this ready. You know, do not put the acetate and all that stuff. As soon as you cut it, right, as soon as we cut it down, just kind of place it here so it just doesn't have acetate, doesn't have anything, and you can stamp through the aperture so you know that when you go to stamp and when you place this later, your stamps will be in the right spot. I hope that makes sense, if that's something you want to do. Okay, so let me put that to the side for now, and what we're going to do, actually I'm going to keep this here just in case. I'm going to cut out my confetti from this really cute, pretty gold paper. It's double-sided. That way both sides of the little flowers are going to be gold, and I think that's really sweet. So I'm going to cut, I don't know how many I'll need, but I try to be chintzy with this paper, so, you know, I'll do the one, and then I'll probably do a couple sets of it. Let me go up to here, maybe. And what I like to do is whenever I collect these, is I drop them on something, like a scrap piece of paper, like this. And let's say this is this. I'm gonna run it through real quick. And I just try to get everything on there. So let me move this piece of paper because I don't need this here. Oh, how cute. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. Stenciling with that would be really cute. Anyway, try to get everything on some kind of surface. That's just how I do it, but I'll pop these in here. And like I said, I'll probably do 2 rounds, so I'll pop another round through here. Take everything out of this guy. And then run it through again, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have that. The carriers are still on. We have our little pieces here, and I can either just kind of funnel them in with my paper here. Just drop a few in each spot. Or you can pick them up by hand. They are starting to get some static electricity on them, so whatever's easiest for you. So I'm just going to go through and just divvy out what I got here, because I do have quite a bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, to be honest, I think 1 pass would have been enough, because you don't want to put too many that they won't shake, right? So, you know, that's up to you how much you want to put in there. But I have plenty left here, and I'll just pop it into a little baggie, and I'll have it in my kit for the next one. So now we're going to remove the backing. And the reason I gave myself, I'm going to do it this way. I know in their step 5. Let me get those away from there. Let me see, I can get step 5. Step 6. It says to assemble the card, and I do it a little bit different. I did it differently last time, and I'm going to do it a different way this time. So they say to remove the carrier, and then to get your card base, and put your card base on top of this, right? So this is my card base. And you can eyeball that however you like. I'm doing it a little bit differently, just so I have a little bit more chance of getting it right on. So that's why I cut these 2 different pieces. So I have this piece, again, this is 8x3, just like this is 8x3, but I cut it a little bit smaller than 8x3. So that's just my little trick there on that one. And I'm gonna eyeball this so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better, hopefully. And of course, I have my camera in the way, so I'm trying to get this on here. And as I get closer, I can kind of see a little bit better what's going on with my paper. And if you don't want to give it a squish yet, you don't have to. But you can see I have a little extra here, a little bit tight over here. That's going to be good. Now I'm going to take my card base just to help me smooth that, because I always like to give it a really good squish. Oh, pretty much perfect. How cute is that? So pretty. Yeah, we did it. So then I'm going to take this guy. I'll adhere this on here. But let me think about what it is that I want to do for the topper pieces, how we want to decorate it, and if I want to orient it this way. I mean, I haven't really thought about that yet, and I'll be right back. I'm kind of just looking at my stamps and kind of playing around with where I might want to place them. We have this other one here with still some little flowers. I think what I'm going to do is stamp this biggest flower and this guy, and I'm going to color them in, and then the rest will just be sentiment. So I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to stamp it with a hybrid ink, just because if I change my mind, you know, it works with both alcohol ink markers and water-based markers. So I'm just going to take this guy and just kind of rub it on there just to make sure we're getting that ready and prepped. And I'll give myself some space in between this guy and the bee. How cute. Oh, perfect. Let me wipe that. And again, you can just rinse these underwater, however you like to clean them. There are stamp cleaners out there. I don't find them super necessary, but you know, if you have it, you can use it. Let me give myself a little bit of room. Like I said, I don't know how big the die is around the edges. Aw, so sweet. All right, let me grab some markers, and I'll be right back. It's a really easy thing to color. I should have grabbed my markers to begin with. I just grabbed the bag, but let's see. Trying to see what colors I want to use. Let me test these out. Okay, so let's say this is going to be like a daisy or something that's white, yellow. I don't know what kind of flower you. So I'm going to start with this lighter orange just around in here. Maybe leave that center part a little bit lighter. I'm going to come in with a deeper orange tone just down in here. And then I'm not using the dark one. I'm just going to get this back So as you can see, that center part where I didn't really color it and then I colored it the second time, it looks lighter than the other area. And that's what I wanted. And yeah, just, you know, apply color like that. I'll use a little bit of yellow, but just a faintest hint of yellow on the very middle of that flower. So let me see, this is light yellow and medium. That sounds good to me. So I'll come in with some light yellow. That's just how I'm choosing to do it. And then medium yellow. Very little down in the center area. Then if I want to come back in with the light yellow and pull some of that out, I can do that. That's about it that I'm going to do for that. And then the green and then my little bee, and I'll be right back. Okay, so just finish that up. So now I'm like, maybe I don't know what a bee looks like. He's supposed to be more yellow in his body. That's okay. All right. So we're going to cut this guy out. Again, if you want to do an aperture, meaning just run the die through a scrap piece of paper so you can do a little hinge and then see exactly where you're cutting. I've shown how to do that in many videos. Or, you know, just eyeball it, either one. And then I have the little bee here. And of course I would tape this down, trim my paper down smaller so I can get through the marquee, and I'll be right back. Wow. Pretty good. Like I said, you can kind of see through it pretty well. Look at that. That's not bad. All right, let me put these away. And always cap your markers really well just so they don't dry out. That's with any alcohol ink marker. And I haven't stuck any of this stuff down. I'm going to put this little guy here and probably this little guy kind of buzzing around there. And then our sentiments. So let me think about what I want to... you know, I like "You're the bee's knees." I think that's cute. So let's bring back that piece of paper that I just... And you can either cut your little strips first and then stamp on them, but I find it a little bit easier for me to do it on here first. And I'll keep them a little bit separate from each other just so I can have some room for the dies. Oopsie. And let's ink those up with some VersaFine. For sentiments, I really like VersaFine. Look at how juicy that is. Beautiful. Love it. So we do have to let VersaFine dry for just a little minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our little banners here. And you can use the same one twice, or you can, however you like. I know bee's knees is longer than the "you're the" part. So I have "you're the," and I have this one that's a little bit longer for bee's knees. Do you want to switch it the other way so that the one's going this way, one's going the other, however you want to use them. I think I'll keep them both facing the same way, and if I change my mind, I'll do it again. It's not a big deal. So again, you can make an aperture, you can just eyeball it. I'm just trying to see that. So nice and straight. And you're there. And I'll run this through. You know, I've been showing the marquee, but whatever die cutting machine that you have that cuts thin metal dies will cut any diamond press thin metal dies or any other companies. They're all interchangeable. As long as the machine cuts thin metal dies, you're good to go. So I'll run this through and I'll be right back. Okay, well, this fell right out. Looking pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is take these and also run them through that same gold paper just so I have a drop shadow effect, and I'll be right back. Okay, so when I talk about drop shadows, that's all I'm doing, just kind of offsetting the little gold piece that I just cut from this guy. And you can choose, you know, up and down, to the right, to the left, however it is that you like. And I'm just putting this on here, just down and to, this is down and to the left. So pretty. All right. Be careful with that still. I'm gonna put these down. And I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. good. And I think I'm going to keep this guy flat, and then this guy can be popped up a little bit. So I am hanging it off the edge because I think that looks pretty. Like that. And I'll use some 3D glue gel, but whatever dimensional adhesive you like to use. Looks like he's coming right in for that. Echinacea? Is that another flower that looks like that? So many pretty flowers. Okay, let me see here. I think it's gonna be something like that. I'll just stick these down straight. That's fine. Something like that. And I have one more thing I want to do. Okay, you guys happen to catch that I put this lid on my glue gel? I just realized. Let's switch that out. Okay. So I'm gonna take some of the new rhinestone kit. The pearls are gorgeous. Yes. There's one last thing I want to do. Yeah, I do little funny things like that all the time. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna use these from the new rhinestones. I'm just kind of looking through. I think I'll use smaller ones and the medium-sized ones. That'll be good. I'll just pop some of these here and there just to add a little more. All of the card is quite decorative already. Let me put these out of the way here because it looks like it's interfering with the lighting a little bit. And yeah, and I always like to do like a larger one and then like a couple smaller ones near it. I'll put this one up a little bit higher. So I used to put them like in a group of 3 really tight, but I try to be a little more fun with it now, just a little looser. And you can put them, you know, wherever, however. Maybe one here, right? Maybe one over here. And a big boy with them. Anything like that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Diamond Press, for sending these items for my review. Like I said, these are now available, but you know, it's up to you if you want to wait until closer to craft day. But the link will be in the description box, and I will see you guys at the next one. Look how pretty and really quick to just put something together with all these apertures and everything. That was very quick. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.